Hello and welcome to Positively United. It's the morning of Monday the 4th of May 2026 and it's the day after we beat Liverpool 3-2 at home at Old Trafford and secured a Champions League spot. Now, I said in my post-match video yesterday that my next video would be player ratings. This isn't a player ratings video, as you probably tell from the thumbnail, and I will be producing a player ratings video later on in the day. But I just wanted to get this video out really quickly. It's going to be a quick video. It's not going to be terribly much in depth. It's just, I want to put down what my view is about the permanent head coach position. Give it to Carrick. It's Michael Carrick's job. Manchester United should appoint Michael Carrick as the permanent head coach. And my personal view is that there is no need to delay that decision anymore or delay its announcement. I think that announcement should be made as soon as possible. I'd ideally like to see United go into their final 3 games of the season with Michael Carrick known to be the permanent head coach. I think it puts United into a really strong position when it comes to going out into the market and trying to get players to come in, because this summer's transfers are going to be hugely important for next season, massively important for next season. We all know that in the midfield area, they're going to be crucial. And if it's going to help us get the midfielders that we need by those players knowing who the head coach is going to be next season, then I think sooner rather than later is the time to make the announcement. Why now? Qualified for the Champions League. Carrick has done absolutely everything that has been asked of him. But surely there must be better coaches out there, people who are better qualified. And this is the point I want to make in this video. Right here, right now, there is no better qualified coach in the world to do this job. And I seriously mean that. How can I possibly mean it when there are coaches like Tuchel and Ancelotti and Enrique and Nagelsmann available? Well, first off, they're not available. Tuchel isn't available. Ancelotti isn't available. Enrique looks like he's settled in Paris. And why would Enrique want to leave Paris Saint-Germain? Nagelsmann. So we have had over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, and I forgot to mention, of course, the darling of the anybody but Carricks at the moment. The Bournemouth manager, Areola. So let's have a look at Areola and Nagelsmann. So officially, Nagelsmann isn't available. He's contracted to Germany to 2028. If we want Nagelsmann, we're going to have to pay a lot of money for him. So you're going to spend a lot of money getting in Nagelsmann, who eventually got sacked from Bayern Munich because he fell out with the senior players in the squad. You're going to pay money to get Nagelsmann away from the German FA, to bring him to Old Trafford to replace a man who, statistically, is the most successful manager in the Premier League since he started his stint as head coach of Manchester United. Yeah, if you start the Premier League on the game that Carrick starts to be our head coach, United are top of the league. But that's not good enough, apparently, for some YouTubers and commentators. Get rid of Carrick, bring in Nagelsmann. And the reason you'll ask them why, because Carrick is a risk. Well, Nagelsmann isn't a risk. A man who fell out with every single senior player at Bayern Munich and had to be sacked as a consequence. That's not a risk. But of course, the darling of the anybody but Carricks over the last few days has become Areola. Now, Areola is doing a great job at Bournemouth. You can't take that away from him. 3-0 yesterday against Crystal Palace. Up to 6. Now looking more likely than Brighton, a lot more likely than Brighton, actually, who look like the contenders, to either retain 6th position or even break into it. I tell you what, if I was a Villa fan at the moment, I would be absolutely bricking it with Bournemouth chasing me down. But it's Bournemouth. I'm sorry, that's not disrespectful. But it's Bournemouth. They're the smallest club in the Premier League. There's no pressure. No, Nobody but Bournemouth fans gives a toss what Bournemouth do. Sorry, that's just true. Manchester United is on a different planet compared to Bournemouth. And if you don't think that matters, think back to where this all begins. David Moyes. David Moyes had managed Everton, one of England's biggest clubs. Seriously, one of England's biggest clubs. And when he got to Old Trafford, the size of the job ate him alive. So getting at Iraola wouldn't be a risk. Of course it would. Be enormous risk. So even if you take all the emotion out of it, even if you strip away the emotion, and for me there is quite a bit of emotion because I would love to see an ex-United player bring United back to glory. I really would. I think it would be, from an emotional perspective, from the perspective of what this club means, yes, the DNA, the heritage and everything, I think it would be perfect for us. That's why I wanted Ollie to do well. It's why I want Carrick to do well. But let's strip the emotion out. Because we should. Because the people at the very top need to be taking a decision that isn't based on emotion at all. They need to be taking a decision that's based on hard logic. And the hard logic points to Carrick. The numbers point to Carrick. The wins point to Carrick. The fact that we are pretty much now nailed on to finish third is a stat in favour of Carrick. Qualification for Champions League. Absolutely beyond belief at the turn of the year. That's on Carrick. More evidence. The team obviously love him. You don't think that's important? You don't think it's important that a team are willing to fight for their manager? Listen to what Kobe Mainu said yesterday after the game. These players want to win for Carrick. The nastiness, the undercurrent of tension that was there with Amorim all the way through his tenure, which became unbearable towards the end, it's gone. It's been swept aside by Carrick and his team. Do we think that would be recreated if Nagelsmann came in? To be honest, I've got less concern about Iraola. Everything I can see about him suggests he's a pretty decent bloke, to be honest with you, and probably would do a good job. But I'm sorry. The risk of dumping Carrick and replacing him with Iraola is crackers. It's a bit like having the best car in the world. You're driving around in it and you think, oh, I can hear a tiny little squeak somewhere. I'm going to buy another car. I'm going to buy the next car that's going to cost me £1 million. And then you buy that and there's a squeak on the other side of the car. This is just, it's like a compulsive shopper who can't stop shopping. We've bought, the manager's bought. The manager is there. We've made the best decision, and it was Carrick. We didn't know it was the best decision at the time, but it's turned out to be the best decision. Stick with it. Let the man get on with the job. Let the team get on with the job. Appoint Carrick as the permanent head coach. I'll go one step further. If we get the summer transfer window done properly, and by that I mean if it's as good as the one we had last season, which was superb, I don't see any reason at all why we shouldn't be challenging for the Premier League title next season. Really. I'm fully up with Mason Mount on that. You look at how many goals we've scored. You look at how many games we've won. You look how many games we've lost. We are within touching distance of City and Arsenal. Tell you what, Arsenal don't worry me at all. If we don't finish above Arsenal next season, I'll be disappointed. City is who we've got to aim at. And I think they're nowhere near as good as they used to be. And I think we're entering a phase where we're going to be a lot better than we've been at probably any stage over the last 13 years. I think it's on. Are we going to win the Premier League next season? Who the hell knows? Probably not. Because it is still a leap. But I am hopeful. Hopeful's not strong enough. I'm expecting that if we get a good transfer window under our belt and Michael Carrick is our permanent head coach, will spend the whole of next season in contention. I really believe that. So let's get on with it. Let's appoint Carrick. Let's start preparing for next season. We know now it's in the bag. We know the Champions League is a done deal. Let's start preparing for next season. Let's get the mindset ready. Let's start finding those players. Let's start buying those players. Awful lot of people are going to be away in the World Cup. Michael Carrick isn't. His coaching team isn't. Maybe some of the players that we're going to buy aren't going to be at the World Cup either. There's a lot of time to prepare for next season. Are you going to throw all that away to wait until the end of the World Cup for the next hipster manager? I don't think any sane, sensible person is. And the people who are clamouring for anybody but Carrick are not sane and sensible people. Well, actually, they might be sane and sensible people, but they're not good faith actors. They're not asking for that for the good of the club or the good of you as a proper fan. They're doing it for themselves. They're doing it because they want to create division and they want to create controversy. And by the way, be prepared next season for an absolute onslaught on Carrick if he's appointed, because they won't let it go. He'll never be good enough for them. They've already said, some of them, that he's not a proper manager. Yeah, they've actually said that about him. Not a proper manager. Top of the league since he became manager, but not a proper manager. Well, he is. And we need to get behind him. And I guess that's the final message from this video. Get behind Carrick. Put your heart and soul into supporting that man to take us back to where we ought to be. Support him through thick and thin, because there will be some thin times. But get behind him. Resolve to push back on the negativity, the drip of poison that comes from some quarters about him, simply because I think he's English and not very exciting. I'll tell you what will be exciting. Lifting the Premier League again. I'm 100% convinced that Carrick is the man who can do it. Right, if you like the video, and I guess a lot of that will depend on whether you want Carrick to be the manager, hit the like button. If you like what I do in this channel, please subscribe. If you know of people who you think would like this channel, let them know about it too and try and persuade them to subscribe as well. Please subscribe to my X channel. That's Positively United, United spelled UTD, because I will post on X more than I post on YouTube. The next video will be the player ratings. And I'll do a 5 insights video as well. And if necessary, I'll do a more in-depth video into why I think Carrick is absolutely the man for the role permanently, with a few more facts and figures in it than this somewhat emotional outburst I've done today. But I just wanted to get out there. For God's sake, just give the man the job and let's start moving on, shall we? It'd be the most positive thing we could do. And for a channel called Positively United, I'm pretty keen that we go ahead and get it done. Okay, I'll see you later today for the player ratings. But until then, let's remain positively united.